Happy Mother's Day to all Imo State mothers. First of all, let me take this opportunity to congratulate the new governor, Chief Richard Okorocha, for his brilliant and deserving success at the polls. We needed serious change, and God had our praise. Government is not just about paying half of the state employees' salaries, overbloating contracts and getting kickbacks, glossing over serious problems, using state funds to finance journalists to sing songs of praises for you, and dragging bags of beans and rice across villages and towns to garner support for your next election. Government requires profound thoughtfulness and unique vision. It also requires the ability to summon diverse opinions and merge them into constructive positive goals and objectives for the general good. The common good cannot be achieved by force nor by mastery, as we have witnessed and can testify to the past 4 years. Having said that, let us not move too far from the basic realization that we are all children of Imo State. The need to unite our goals outweighs our desires to squabble with Hakim and his supporters. While so many of us feel emancipated, let us not convert our victory into hatred for the ex-governor, or the total resentment for his performance. He is still part and parcel of our lives. If we hold on to the past, we will have no room for the future. Bridges must be built. Our struggle for economic and social well-being continues to stare us in the face and must be quickly assumed by our new government. And let us not forget the fact that we have a larger responsibility of relocating our citizens away from the north and back to the south, forever out of harm's way. The need to create opportunities on a much larger scale to accommodate our returning families must be paramount in our new grand plan. This calls for a much more comprehensive and robust approach to governance, where we are a state with great potentials. All we need are leaders who understand how to maximize these potentials and create a viable state that sustains its people. A respectable state, and not one that many of our citizens are afraid to return to. Imo State has unfortunately earned notoriety for all manners of vice. I sincerely hope we are commencing a new era of leadership, success, and complete transformation of our image. There is so much we can accomplish as a state, and it must begin with the family and the community. The past 2 decades, leadership and government's apathy have forced our people, in their desperation for survival, to abandon all the natural goodness we endow and embrace values that are destructive to our communities. For us to make a total recovery, we must return to our old self, choose our ultimate principle, draw a clear and bold distinction between right and wrong. We must arrive at a general consensus that certain attitudes and behavior are simply abhorrent. The old self I'm speaking of is the one that ensures that we left the light on for anyone to see. The self that separated us from selfishness and greed, that enables us to stand for integrity, made us all so united as communities, devoid of the hate and envy, devoid of the evil tendencies that lately and often motivate us to seek the harm of one another. Essentially, we must eschew the spiritual wickedness and mean-spiritedness that abound in our state today. An environment of unhealthy competition often invites envy and violence. It divides families and communities. Today, we discourage where we should encourage. We envy where we should celebrate. And we refrain where we should embrace. I'm yet to see any society endure with these kinds of psychological warfare constantly brewing, where there's little difference between right and wrong. Every step we take forward leads us backward. Given this conflictual, negative state of affairs, the success we labor for, the aspiration we have, can only be achieved when we take this opportunity to usher in a new era of understanding, love, patience, and above all, adopt a set of moral codes that allows us of our weaknesses and deviations. Let us spend more time thinking about the end product of our collective efforts and not indulge ourselves in individual grandeur. Once again, we must endeavor to become our brother's keepers and not their killers and exploiters. So many of our people today, especially the young, are questioning the need for morality and being resentful of it. To them, every attitude has become so relative. We cannot depart from those values that are tried and true. We must be strong enough, enlightened enough to see just how one bad egg can ruin the whole basket. The humankind cannot thrive without a consensus on values. This is the real foundation or premises upon which modern societies are built. It is what I envision, and it's worthy of both second thought and trial. It's a foundation that can withstand any weight of progress. Once again, let us make our daily goals rest upon the idea of making someone happy instead of sad. Instead of defrauding another, give selflessly. And here now arrives the role of government. Our new emerging government must ensure fairness among ourselves. Trust is essential to real development. The rule of law must be applied to ensure adequate retribution and punishment. Defrauding an individual is a crime. It is not an act of superior IQ or intelligence, neither is it a game. Again, our new leadership must take note of this and act accordingly. The arms of government must be extended so strongly to harden deviants and simply make them pay for their crimes, no matter how small. One kidnapping, one cold assassination, one police duplicity should be enough to evoke the concern and swift action of our new government. Our perception of business and daily conduct must change to attain a new era. Appeal to conscience is not enough to bring about change, neither is leaving matters to God. I believe government must exercise the power of restraint. New laws must be made and enforced. Any action, visible or invisible, engaged to harm another is a crime. In Tennessee, as in so many other states, if you consult a witch or wizard for the purpose of harming a second party, it is a criminal offense, and the consulted has the responsibility to report such consultations. If a nation like the United States criminalizes such actions, I see no reason we cannot do so with our own state and nation. This calls for the immediate creation of a vice squad in the state to address these social maladies or issues overtly or covertly. We must clean the state of all destructive elements or ethos and embrace social discipline through law enforcement. Borrowing the words of the Bible, let us all be transformed, knowing that the sacrifices we make today will eventually be rewarded. You might dispute it, or you might take offense to it, but I might exercise my own opinion. I sincerely believe the Nigerian police force is not well trained and informed to understand the basic requirements of attaining an organized civil society. Further, the police force is overburdened, underpaid, and numerically insufficient to accomplish any meaningful law-abiding society. To this effect, I will advise our new governor to consider forming an elite body of special agents empowered to investigate and pursue crimes in the state. This is our most urgent new frontier. Imo State has become a haven for vice seekers. It's in dire need of security. Our people can no longer afford to live in fear. A state-sponsored law enforcement agency with its own prisons and rehabilitation centers, is within the realm of possibility. Armed, mobile, and proactive, spread all over the state to deal with crimes ranging from violence, robbery, to bribery and corruption. This will require an arrangement with the federal police force in Imo State. We have legal experts to make this case to our federal government and on why this is necessary and obtain the legal permission. And if the federal government has the interest of our people at heart, I see no reason it should object. More than 2 law enforcement agencies can work well in our state. Each town in the state should have a state police outfit ready to deal with any infraction of the law. Constant patrol of our villages is essential to achieve a crime-free state. Armed robbery and acts of violence have embedded themselves in our communities. It has become so easy for young men to quickly use weapons to settle disputes without much regard to life. This trend must be discouraged and ended, and severe penalties ranging from long prison sentences to capital punishment instituted to restore order to our community. Just reaching out for weapons in conflicts, except where you are outnumbered, should be treated as serious. And accused should face justice. The past decade, Imo State, like many other states, have experienced unfortunate proliferation of guns. This is a problem our new government must address urgently. It is a predicament, a serious threat to society. While some of us have general reasons of safety to own them, I believe that a greater number of these guns are falling into the wrong hands. Our government must find ways of disarming any segment of our society that are misusing these guns. New laws must be passed requiring an individual owning a gun to register it and show cause why he or she must own one. Government on its part must institute a means of tracking these guns, even if it means obtaining ballistic records of them. Anyone caught with unregistered guns faces serious charges. Today, even university students are walking around on our campuses with guns. I hear that many politicians are afraid to visit our schools. This is a tragic and unfortunate circumstance we must reverse. Steps must be taken to apprehend those who profit from importing and selling these guns indiscriminately to our people. The safety of our people must remain our most urgent and unrelenting priority. Bringing the law much closer to our communities changes our attitude and curbs our tendencies to take the law into our hands. Our social orientation does determine our overall view of life. Now, our people will operate within the law instead of operating ignorant of the law. While cynics will have a field day pontificating on the impossibility of my ideas, I see great potentials in them. And I truly believe that the federal government will not stand in the way of good governance. The unique ideas we bring to administration might become a desirable model for the nation. Much needed jobs are the fruits of our labor and creativity. We have already wasted 2 generations of men and women. We cannot afford to waste more. We cannot allow this rough-shot attitude to life to persist very long either. As we joyfully welcome our new governor, let us make the necessary sacrifices to revamp our state. Let us renew our spirit of collective effort. We cannot move forward disjointed. One destiny binds us all. Thank you, and may God bless you.